Speaking now with Gus Vargas, Territory Logistic Manager at NuTrace. Gus has an MBA from the University of Conrad Lorenz in Bogota, Colombia, with a master's in marketing. In 2012, he took a class at MIT for lean production and reliability, which he shares along with basic principles to sterile processing technicians and managers around the country. Gus, I've known you for a while. I've seen you at all the trade shows. You've got a great personality, and it's so nice to have you on today.
Thank you, Justin, for inviting me. I'm very, very happy to be here.
You're participating in Beyond Clean's first ever SPX2020, but I want to give you an opportunity to talk about not only NuTrace, but your parent company, ProMedical, as well. So let's start there.
We started ProMedical in 2002. I have been an OR rep almost all my life, and we were working with different brands, Panasonic, GE. But what took me really to the OR and what I was working with passion was medical equipment, especially when the HD video started to pop up like in 2010, 2011. So that's what I was really passionate about. My life was pretty much every day, all day, 7 days a week in the OR. That's what we were doing with ProMedical.
So then you create this great product. How did that come about with NuTrace?
Yeah, that part is interesting. I was working in neuro. We were setting up an HD camera for a neuro case. I walked out of the first case, and we were waiting for the second case to start, and there was a delay because they were missing some instruments. People were running around, and I started to ask questions, and they didn't know where the instruments were. Then a nurse came and told me that they were a little frustrated because they weren't getting the instruments that they supposed to get, or when they were buying brand new instruments, they were getting the old ones, and they never saw the new instruments again. So when I walk in that case, I start to work my brain, and I start to look around the instruments. So NuTrace pretty much was born between those two neuro cases. So I saw the need for identification and laser marking, and that's what we do now.
So, Gus, I know you're really active on LinkedIn because it's actually how I came to know you and your product long before I ever met you at a trade show and had a chance to shake your hand. And I think that that is something that a lot of people are getting exposed to your products already, but let's make sure they understand all the different options that you have out there. So what are some of the products with NuTrace that are making sterile processing technicians, managers, supervisors, directors' jobs easier?
What we focus on and what we are really experts at is to help hospitals to lay down a path to track at the instrument level. So our NUX20, which many hospitals already around the country have it, the idea is to mark the surgical instrument, put a unique identification on each instrument. Then, after being entered in database or a tracking system, they use our barcode reader, the R+, to recall those instruments every time that they rebuild the set. So basically, between the products and our knowledge and our team, what we do is take that hospital and help them to start that long journey in a very easy manner.
So you've got the laser marking unit, you've got the readers, but then you also make tags for the inner trays and containers. And that's going to be a lot of the materials that people are going to be able to view over the next 60 minutes during your focus hour here on Beyond Clean's SPX 2020. But I think the laser marking unit is what is so interesting because in the past, when people wanted to go to the instrument level, as tracking systems began to have that capability, the issue was that the abilities of the staff and the type of equipment that you would have to use to mark the instruments wasn't always necessarily lining up, and even the speed with which you would have to mark the instruments, almost like you had to do some sort of an outsourced vendor to be able to do that. And then what happens when you decommission instruments or buy new instruments and they need to be marked? What you did here is you created a product that was very easy to train people to use and be able to maintain that instrument level identification with accuracy. Is that correct?
Justin, I couldn't say it better. ID instruments wasn't easy because the different nature of instruments. You have stainless steel, you have titanium, you have anodize, you have plastic, you have synthetics, you have silicone, all these kind of different materials. Back then, the only possible way to mark an instrument was stainless steel if there was enough room to put a mark or a barcode, what we call data matrix. Today, with our laser and our technology, we can mark pretty much 99.9% of the instruments in the supply chain, irrelevant of material, irrelevant of the size. And in working together with our NuTrace R+, those marks, big, small, or really small, up to 800 microns, they can be easily read and recalled by our reader. So if you have ice instruments, if you have bulldogs, if you have needles, if you have little drills, even ENT, those little picks that at the glance looks pretty impossible to put a mark. The NUX20, our technology, we are able to mark every single instrument and then being input in a tracking system and then linked to a set and then being recalled every time that set is being reassembly in sterile processing. So it's pretty much on your mark, get set, and track.
And here's the other thing. You're not done disrupting the industry, and anybody who does follow you on LinkedIn will notice that you're already putting out a teaser. So product development, always ongoing. You've got something new coming right around the corner.
One of the things that I'm really passionate about is the continuous improvement. And every day, me, myself, and our team, we go to work thinking, how can we do this better? How can we make our laser better, the process better, make it probably sometimes more affordable? And that's what we do. And we just finished our new laser called the NuX20NG, which is the next generation laser. Right now, I cannot tell you much. I put a little peek out there in LinkedIn. It's really sleek. It's smaller. It's faster. It's way, way, way more flexible than what we had before. People are going to love it. And we are working a little bit in the price, see if at least we can keep it at the same price range that we had the NUX20 or try to see we can get it a little lower. But everything comes with a laser. It's pretty much open, plug, and mark. As simple as that.
All right, so you're going to get a sneak peek at what the new NUX20NG looks like over the next focus hour with NuTrace, but there'll also be brochures so you can see all of the products, not just the laser marking unit, but the readers and the ID tags for inner trays and containers. And finally, there's going to be product videos so that you'll be able to see the marking unit in action and really get a feel for just how easy it is to use. Gus, you've done a really nice job. Appreciate you joining us for SPX 2020. How can the audience contact you for more information?
Thank you, Justin. No, really happy and really excited to be here and have you guys and have your platform and your knowledge to help others to know a little bit more of what we do. I mean, our web is www.nutrace.net. If anybody needs more information, they can email us, info@nutrace.net, or they can email me directly, gus@nutrace.net. We made it pretty easy, so everybody knows where to reach us.
Great job, Gus. Nice to have you participating in SPX 2020.
Thank you very much, and good luck with you guys as well, and we'll see you guys there.
All right, as a reminder, the website, NuTrace.net, that's NuTrace.net. You can follow them on LinkedIn. They have a YouTube channel where all of those videos reside. And as Gus mentioned, you can email him. He's great to work with, Gus@NuTrace.net. Enjoy the next Focus Hour with NuTrace on Beyond Clean's SPX 2020.